Hi, everybody. Yes, it's Kyla again, and welcome to Paranormal at the Boneyard. And I am standing in front of another theater in Hamilton. I wasn't planning on doing another theater so soon, but I thought this would be a good opportunity because I'm actually going to be able to get inside this one today. In front of the Zoetic Theater on Concession Street in Hamilton. It's up on the mountain. It's another windy day, and there's traffic going by, so again, I hope you'll be able to hear me. And the reason why I chose to do this one so soon is because I'm actually going to be inside the theater today, so that's pretty awesome. I am performing in a play during the Hamilton Fringe Festival. It's going on all this week, and I'm going to be in a play called Dedication, and we perform in this theater. And why I thought this would be a good time now, not only can I get inside it, but I have had a couple of my own experiences here in the 2 days that I have been inside performing. Okay, so no matter what I do, my hair is going to be all over the place because of the wind, but that's okay. I'm actually in full makeup and in my costume, which is really just my own clothing, but for this play, and it's Dedication. It's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed doing it, and when I had a couple of experiences here, one for the dress rehearsal, and yesterday was our opening night, and I had an experience then as well. I was like, I better start getting this done. I better write this down and get over here and talk a little bit about the history of this place. Actually, I've been in this building a few times before, way back in the early 2000s. It was a place called the Movie Palace, and they love to show old movies, and I'm an old movie buff, so naturally I came here a lot, but it didn't last. But what little history I could find on it, which was not a lot, I found a little bit of history. The building itself was built in 1895, and it was called the Daniel Cotter Hotel. And at the time, there was a group of Methodist women who I believe were members of the Temperance Society. They did not enjoy the fact that this place served alcohol, and they raised a bunch of funds and bought the hotel away from the Daniel Cotter Hotel. And I couldn't, just at the mountain went alcohol free for many years. Now, I don't know if the mountain was like, we're talking the entire Hamilton mountain, or if it became a hotel and they called it the mountain. I'm not quite sure. I'm assuming it's just a hotel, because Prohibition didn't happen until the 20s, so I can't see them being the entire mountain alcohol free for before Prohibition, so that's my guess. Now, the very first theater to be operating here was in 1920. It was a movie theater called the Lyceum Theater. In the 1940s, the name changed to the Mountain. In the 1970s, the name changed to the York, and all these were movie theaters. And I learned from a friend who said in the 1990s he remembers this place to be a sports store, but they still had all the movie seats and everything. The auditorium was still there. They just put like the sporting equipment, like bicycles and stuff, in the aisles in the theater, and that's where they sold it from. So I don't remember that. I was not around here at that time on the mountain, so what I remember, I became familiar with it was the place called the Movie Palace, and this was the early 2000s, and I loved this place. They showed old movies. I believe it was Tuesdays. They had Silent Tuesdays, so I would come on Tuesdays. Sometimes I was the only one, so that's, gives you a good indication of why the place didn't last. But I would watch Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton and Roscoe Arbuckle up on the big screen, and that was pretty awesome. To try to keep the business alive, they stopped doing nothing but classic movies. They started adding some newer movies in there as well, and I got to toot my own horn. I was in one of the movies that they showed here. It was an independent zombie movie called Versus the Dead, and in 2009 it premiered in this movie theater right here. So I was a really mean, nasty person, and I turned into a zombie and I got killed. It was so much fun, and there was so much fake blood, and I absolutely loved it. But yeah, that's my lame claim to fame, was I was in a movie that premiered at this building right here. So that's my little bit of history, my little bit of immortality at the Zoetic Theater, which was known as the Movie Palace at the time. There's my play, Dedication. We're on at 7:30 tonight. Woohoo! Okay, I am inside the Zoetic Theater now, and this was the seat that I was sitting in when I had my first experience here just earlier in the week. it was dress rehearsal or tech rehearsal. Now, if you don't know what a tech rehearsal is, it's when all the people in the booth back there work on the lighting and the sound and all that kind of stuff and make sure that it's perfect for us when we go out there and perform. It's very hard work and I would never want to do it. So not my thing. But I was in this chair and I was waiting for the scene to start with my friend. She was up on stage and she was doing her thing. And then all of a sudden technical difficulties started happening. Which apparently is very out of the norm for them. And the technical difficulties were that every single thing that we had just went through with the lighting and the sound stopped. It all just, as the director described it, a gremlin went inside the computer and erased everything. Apparently that's very unusual. So they basically had to go through it all again really, really fast, just bullet speed, going boom, 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 like that. So we were waiting. And I'm sitting here like this in this chair, just, with my legs crossed, sitting here, not doing anything. This is one of the things about acting. It's called hurry up and then wait. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear a woman's voice behind me, like in the seat directly behind me here. Like she was in my ear going, "Hey." And I was like, "What? Oh, who's behind me?" No one was behind me. And I'm like, and I'm looking around, and my other actor who was in the play with me, she wasn't on stage, but she was over on that side, way over there. And everybody else was back in the booth there working on the technical difficulties. And I'm like, there's nobody around me. And this was like she was right here going, "Hey." And I'm like, okay, all right, okay. So I was like, I'll just pretend I didn't hear that. And I just sat here, nothing. And then maybe about 5 minutes later, they were still working on different scenes and stuff like that. And then I heard her again, but a little farther away. Like maybe she was further down the aisle, like down this way here. And I heard, "Hey." And it was the same female voice. And I turned and I'm like, what the? Like, am I going crazy? Am I hearing things? What's going on? So I told people, like the other actors and the director, I kind of put on Messenger and I was like, did anybody else see anything or hear anything? Because I heard this woman, and apparently the director said she felt a cold chill when there wasn't a cold chill. It wasn't the air conditioning, it wasn't this, that wasn't that. So she didn't know where it was coming from. And that the technical difficulties don't happen. That's never happened before, so that was unusual. I don't want to jump on the bandwagon and say it was paranormal, but it was unusual. And all I can tell you about the voices, it was a female voice, it sounded youngish, but I don't know who it was. So that was my very first experience of the technical difficulties. Now I'm going to take you to the spot where I had a visual experience. Here we go. This is an old building. This is the type of thing that I love. So I'm very excited to be talking about this while I'm inside it. So I'm very excited. So here we are in the room that I had my other experience. Now what I was doing was the production that was before us, they left the stage a mess. I would step on things and it was just like I could feel it through my shoes and stuff, and I got that Princess and the Pea thing where I can't function if I'm stepping on things that feel kind of gross and jagged and stuff. So I was looking for a broom so I could sweep the stage off. And of course it was like right in my view, it's bright red and it's right there type of thing, but no, I couldn't see it. So I had to wander around the theater to find it. So I'm backstage. This is where we keep all the props for all the different shows for the Fringe. And this room, actually the door here, was open at the time. So I opened it and I came inside just looking for it. I don't even know. I think it's like a furnace room or something. And I turned on the light and I looked around and there was no broom. So I turned the light off and came back out. The door was open then, but it's closed now, so I'll close it. And then right behind me here, this open door, I saw a woman walk by. And it was kind of like, it was so fast, and I was kind of looking this way over here, so when she walked this way, I saw it in like this vision. And I have very good peripheral vision, so I clearly saw a woman, and she had the same color hair as one of the other ladies in my play. So I thought it was her. It was the same color, same length. So I thought she was just sort of going up, and there's a set of stairs that go up the stairs. So I thought maybe that was her going upstairs. And then all of a sudden I came around the corner back to the stage, and she was on the stage, so she hadn't come out at all. And I was like, what is going on? I said, I think I just saw her. I said, I heard her yesterday, or well, a few days ago, and then I said, I think I just saw her now. And all I can say is she was a woman, and she was wearing a dress, and she was blonde. She had kind of blonde hair that kind of went shoulder length. So it was very fast, and I did go upstairs because the washroom's upstairs, and there was nobody up there. So I thought that was interesting. Okay, one more thing. Showtime's about 15 minutes, so I can't talk for too long. And I'm in the washroom, actually. I just like the funky wallpaper, so I wouldn't talk in the washroom here. What I did yesterday, and actually we had a really good show, so I'm going to do it again today, is just acknowledge her and thank her for coming by, and hopefully she watched the show and that she enjoyed it, and to thank her for being here. And because I don't find any malevolence, I don't feel anything bad, I just feel curiosity and interest, and I'm hoping that she likes the show, and I'm going to go and acknowledge her right now, so I'm going to go do that. Just heading back downstairs again, kind of hoping that I might see something behind me or something might show up. But so yeah, I'm just looking down here as I'm going down the stairs. I'm not seeing anything, but I'm here, and this is where I saw her, was in this little spot right here. So this is where I'm going to acknowledge her. So thank you for coming, and I really appreciate that you're here, and I hope you liked our show yesterday, and I hope that today will be just as good, if not better, for you. And I really, really appreciate that you're here and that you trusted me enough to show yourself to me. Thank you so much. Okay, I am back inside the theater. And I thought before every show, because we're on for show number 3 right now, I would come backstage and just sort of wander around a little bit and maybe, hopefully, catch a little something in the camera, maybe. I didn't see or hear anything yesterday, a little wrapped up in the play, so that's okay. Yeah, I thought it was so interesting for 2 days that I was here 2 times, and I heard something one day and saw something the next day. So I thought this time I'll just start bringing my camera out and just sort of wander around a little bit before each show as a little ritual, and just see if anything shows up.
That happens sometimes too, doesn't it? Yeah. Yesterday? How many were yesterday, would you say?
So I'm just continuing to walk along. I didn't hear anything. I did say hello at the gate, or I always call it a gate, the drape over there, but didn't hear anything. So I don't know if I'm gonna get any EVPs. This is a cool room. I like this room very, very much. Let's go walk on the stage. We're gonna walk on the stage. This is what I do. I wander the stage. This is up on stage. We're just checking lights right now, making sure all the props are in the right spot. Yeah, no, everything's okay with me. As long as I got room for Twister, I'm good. Okay, we are before another show again, so I thought I'd come around again and just see what I could find. I might actually see if I can get her to move something, maybe. If I talk to her, I'll go upstairs afterwards. Right now somebody's upstairs getting changed, so I don't want to interrupt that, obviously. But we'll wait. And we'll see if anything happens. Right now there's somebody walking upstairs, so if you hear walking upstairs, that's what it is. It's somebody upstairs. The person getting changed, actually. Could you make a noise? Could you move a chair? I do like those mirrors. Maybe turn a light off. They're letting the audience in, so I gotta get going. And today I'm just not feeling it, so I guess she's not here today. Okay, our show is over. I can only talk for a couple of minutes before the next show comes out. But here is simply proof that ghosts only show up when they want to show up, and they only show up whenever they want, because they're not trained seals. They're not going to come when you call. But I'm doing a scene, and I'm about to come up the stairs doing a drunk scene, and right here, right where this archway is, right here, I saw a human form. It was blacker than the black. It was dark. And if I can get her to talk to me, my co-star also saw an orb. So I'm in the same location. She's like, I didn't know if it was, something reflecting off something or whatever, but she saw it. It wasn't even something that you film and see. But so it kind of threw me off for a little bit there. I went to come up on the stage, and all of a sudden it was like, what is that? And it was a human form. And then it just sort of fizzled into the blackness and disappeared. So, of course, I didn't have my camera with me because I was on stage performing. But that's third time in this theater I've seen something. So I couldn't tell if it was human or just a shadow person or what, but it was a human form. So I couldn't tell if it was male or female or anything like that. Just a human form, blacker than this black tarp. So, okay, this is Amy. She's one of my co-stars in the show. And it's not just me. I'm not just crazy and seeing things. She's crazy and saw something too. So, what did you see?
I saw an orb.
An orb. And where did you saw it in the same spot that I saw the person, right?
Yeah. So after the show, we realized that corner had some activity for sure.
Of course, it was during the show. Nobody had a camera with them, so that sucks.
But it happened.
And it's not just me. It's her too. Yay! Well, I am back at the studio, or I'm sorry, at the theater, and show number 5, I think. This one I've actually got people coming, so I'm a little excited about that. I'm not in costume right now, so I'm just going to go and change right now into costume, try and figure out where the lights are, and still looking for ghosts, still looking to film ghosts, because I'm seeing them. They're just not letting me film them. So we're hoping we can find something and film it. Hopefully. Let's take a trip down the stairs. Looks dark and foreboding, but it's really not. Thought maybe if I tried a different angle, something might happen. But it doesn't seem to be. Okay, I don't have a lot of time, so I just wanted to say thank you to the resident ghost that's here for being here, and I honestly do feel like you enjoy us being here and doing our play, so I hope that means you like it. And I really want a good show tonight, so I don't know if there's any way you can bless the show, but it's being videotaped, and I actually have people that I know who are going to be in the audience tonight, so if we could make this one a really good one, I would really appreciate that. Again, thank you for allowing us into your home and allowing us to perform this play. And I do get the feeling that you like this, and I hope you're happy with us. Thank you. One last day here. If you could say hello. I saw something, but that just might be reflections from the lights hitting the lens. We'll look at it later, obviously. One final run on the stage. Okay, I'm in the spot that I always say thank you for coming and everything, so I'll do that one last time. So I would like to say thank you for allowing us into your home. This is our final show, and I really appreciate that you've shown yourself to me and to Amy, and I think that that's wonderful. And once I go through this footage, I hope that I see you somewhere on there. And it's been quite a week. So thank you for being a part of our week. Well, the Fringe is over, their play is over. I'm no longer at the Zoetic Theater every day. I've taken some time to relax and just sort of unwind from the play, and I'm in my backyard right now. So what I intend to do is go through all the footage and just see, maybe something in the background somewhere that I didn't catch while I was actually doing the filming might have shown up. We can always hope. It's highly doubtful. Maybe we can hear like an EVP. Maybe. I doubt it, but it was interesting. Basically, every experience I had was when the camera was off, of course. Isn't that the way it always goes? But yeah, I like the tech rehearsal. I heard the voice calling, you know, behind me saying, "Hey, hey," and then I think it was opening night. I was in the prop room, and I was just wandering around doing my pre-show wandering, which is just sort of a ritual with me, and I saw a woman walk by, and I thought it was actually one of my co-stars, and she was actually still on stage. So then that's when I started bringing my camera around, and yeah, so obviously I don't think I caught anything on camera, but then during one of the shows I went to go, and it was actually a drunk scene. I was supposed to be drunk and everything, and I took 2 steps towards the stage, and there was a shadow figure across on the other side of the stage just standing there, and then it sort of disappeared into the wall, and I was like, and it actually caught me off guard. I was like, what, you know, to the point where one of my other co-stars, the one that saw the orb that day too, she was like, I saw you kind of paused and kind of, you weren't yourself when you went on the stage at that moment. And I'm like, yeah, that's why. And then she told me, well, I saw in that same spot, I saw an orb. I don't know if she said orb or orbs. I'd have to go back and look at the footage, but yeah, so I kind of felt validated that I wasn't going crazy. I actually did see something because she saw something too. So who knows? And on top of all that, for the first time ever in the history of any tech rehearsals at that theater, the entire system crashed. The lighting and the sound that completely crashed, and we had to redo all of our stuff from scratch and just redo all the tech cues and all the, you know, and it was just, they said that never happens. So I found that interesting too. Now, it could just be a fluke. I mean, I always try to do the rational thing and the logical thing first, thanks to my brother. My brother's so logical. He always puts me in my place, and he's like, no, it's this. It's like, yeah, thanks. But yeah, so I mean, it could have been a fluke. It could have just been, you know, maybe it was the time for this equipment to crash, you know, you never know. But it just seemed like the timing was weird, because that was the same time that I heard, hey, so who knows? So I'm gonna go review the footage, and I'm gonna edit it all and stick it together and put this online. So I will be going now, and I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. If you ever have a chance, go to the Zoetic Theater. They do plays, they do movies. and it is gorgeous. It's like got that old Hollywood feel to it, and it's just the most beautiful theater ever, and I love it. And it's up on the mountain in Hamilton, and you know, ghost or no ghost, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous place, a gorgeous building. And Concession Street's a really nice street, and with all these little shops and restaurants and things like that, so it's really, really cute. And at the same time, I'm saying Paranormal from the Boneyard, make sure that you watch The Boneyard with TJ Palmer. He's always doing interviews with different bands from all over the world. I think he recently just did, I think they were from either Italy or Spain. I can't remember where he said he was from, but I mean, he interviewed a band from like Italy or Spain, you know, like he always does bands in Montreal and Quebec, in general, Quebec. He does local bands. He does bands from South America. He's in bands from South Africa. He interviews everybody, whether you're famous, infamous, or just starting out. He loves to interview artists. He likes musicians. He loves photographers, which, you know, that's how I met him, was through photography. He does, you know, artwork, poets, lyricists, singers. He loves to interview the artists. He loves to get them out there, get them seen, and he's an amazing, amazing interviewer. So be sure to watch The Boneyard. And I don't know if there's a name for it, but at the end of the month, they're having a special weekend concert, and I believe there are still some tickets left. So go to the Boneyard and get in contact with TJ if you're interested. There are going to be some heavy metal bands that are going to be playing. I'm not sure about any other bands, but it's going to be like a weekend of fun. There's going to be like it's like a beef roast. And I'm going to be the photographer, so I'll be there, and because, you know, you'll be having some drinks, you'll be having some beef, I guess. I'm a vegetarian, but you'll be having some beef, you'll be listening to some awesome music. It's going to be out in the country by a creek. It's just going to be wonderful and a lot of fun. So I know that there's some tickets available still, so get in contact with TJ, go to the Boneyard Facebook page, #the Boneyard, and yeah, get some tickets, because it's going to be a lot of fun and it's going to be a good adventure. It's at the end of this month, end of August 2022. So be sure to get your tickets, go, and you're going to have a good time. So on that note, I shall go. This is Kyla from Paranormal at the Boneyard, saying just because your five senses doesn't detect it doesn't mean it's not happening. So, bye!